everybody. How are you? Happy 420. This is the Trial by Error Variety Show bonus episode. A little something we do traditionally around here is we celebrate holidays that, we want to celebrate. And it's like we don't do Easter, but we do 420. So we do something this month, Anyway, I spent some time with the fellers from Collateral Cinema, and we talked about one of the most talked about stoner classics of all time. Talking about Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. One of the only rated R movies that I was allowed to watch as a 12-year-old. Because I'm pretty sure my dad was smoking the ganja on the DL. Doing it out in the garage, pumping iron. I remember I'd come outside and my dad would be like all sweaty, like fucking 6-pack, like just pumping iron and shit. I bet he was smoking too. I bet he was. That was about the time he was like buying me magic kits for Christmas. And, we were going to church a lot. So the Lord giveth, my friends. And he giveth an episode with Collateral Cinema. That's right. Hanging out with Bo Maddox, Robert Oregon, Ashley and Dakota Chancellor. And we talk about the movie. Okay, so if you're listening to it on my feed, it's like something really different. So go check out Collateral Cinema. Make sure you subscribe and check out their episode. But for now, gonna ring the group. Ringing the group.
Yo.
Yo.
Yo,
Hey.
there you guys are.
We gotta have weed going, bro. Weeds. It's 420 during the pandemic. It's Christmas.
It's 420 month. It's April 20th.
All right. Full disclosure. My kids are 2 doors down. And I'm blowing CBD.
Okay. I got you.
I'm blowing
That's
it.
CBD?
Yeah,
All right.
I'm blowing it out a window. So there's no smoke in my house, but I have blurred my background. That's quarantine for me. All right, let's do this.
Yeah,
let's do this.
Are you in this, Dakota?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the weed.
Do like we normally do, and then he'll come in at the end and kind of little surprise or something like that. Yeah. So here we go. I'm Bo Maddox.
I'm Robert Oregon.
I'm Ashley Chancellor.
I'm Dakota Chancellor.
And this is Collateral Cinema.
And I'm Chazzle Dazzle. Surprise, biatches. This is a Crosscast. You're also listening to the Trial by Error Variety Show.
Welcome to Collateral Cinema, the only movie podcast that matters, where we focus on good movies, bad movies, and everything else in between in the world of cinema. We're podcasting straight from somewhere in South Texas, and yes, my friends, we are a 420-friendly podcast. So whenever you have, be it dabs, be it blunts, be it bongs, be it joints, smoke it if you've got it. And happy 420 to everybody. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Yep, no, doing fantastic.
How's
Good 420.
Yeah, one more time. How is everybody doing?
Great.
I mean, it's kind of a mixture because, we've got this pandemic going on right now, but at the same time, we get to smoke like all the time. So
No problem there.
Why did we invite you?
I don't know. Maybe we should ask you. Why did we
If you're
invite
not
you?
going to take this seriously, okay?
And yes, joining us is Mr. Chazzle Dazzle
Hey.
from Trial by Error Variety Show. How you doing?
Doing great, man. Got some new merch that I can wear to the grocery store around all these people not wearing masks, probably not washing their hands.
Yeah.
And
no shit. Screw all those people.
I mean, I got to go there to live, and I don't want to go there to die. All right. So to all these people, take it seriously. Take it seriously. Like we are taking this episode seriously. Let's do this.
Exactly.
Wow,
Exactly.
that's
Take
very
everything
serious.
seriously, people. Dakota, do you have something to say? What do you have to
No,
add?
I'm just, it's great. I think we are taking this podcast very, very seriously.
He
Especially
doesn't
Chaz.
even have sleeves.
I don't have any sleeves. Well,
It's actually amazing to have Dakota on the show now.
Yeah,
It's like,
whatever.
This is like, I mean, when was the last time you were on the show, Dakota? Tell us.
you guys need to listen to Collateral Gaming. That's
Yeah,
the
he
problem.
was on the last episode of Collateral Gaming.
What?
He's on every episode of Collateral
Yeah.
Gaming because without
That's
him, there
true.
is no
That's true.
Collateral
Exactly.
Gaming.
I'm just saying he showed up for every episode.
Exactly. You know what?
Right
Screw you
on,
guys
right
and
on.
y'all cinema. Well, I have so much gaming to do during this quarantine.
All
What the hell?
gaming.
Oh, there we go.
Hey.
It's how we
Life's changed.
podcast in the pandemic, baby. Look at this tan. Check this
Yeah,
out.
Oh, wow.
For all of you listening to the audio version of this, Chaz just took his shirt off.
Yeah. He took his shirt off on video.
Yep.
Like, ain't nobody gonna see this yet.
No, probably not. I just want you guys to see it.
It's special just for us, right?
Yeah, it's just for you guys
Oh,
We're-
wow, don't we just feel so special?
and my
I feel like a
Right.
and my OnlyFans.
Oh, damn. There we go. I got to sign up. You got to send me your link.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll
All right, guys, we are celebrating 420, and the movie that we are doing today is an all-time stoner classic. It is amazing. Robert,
Fantastic.
motherfucking Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke.
All my friends know the low rider. The low rider is a little higher.
God damn, guys, this movie just brings so much joy to my life every time I watch it.
Oh, yeah.
How
Not
about
only
y'all?
is it a fantastic stoner movie, it's amazing.
It's the original stoner film, I think, that kind of, kicked off the genre. I mean, unless you count Reefer Madness, which isn't an intentional stoner film. But yeah,
Yeah,
this one started it all, really, in the mainstream.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Reefer Madness was an anti-weed movie, though.
May. May!
What do you want?
Bring me some reapers.
And it just kind of, just by way of mimetic mutation, just became a stoner classic,
Exactly.
And we might do that movie on a future episode, probably.
I think
I
we
would
should.
like to think. Yeah, that should definitely be next 420. Anyway, Cheech and Chong got their start in the late 60s, and I'm pretty sure that they were doing this stoner comedy right from the get-go, right?
Yeah, definitely. Uh-huh. And
Yeah.
I think it's funny that all their bits from that first record were like sprinkled throughout this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, that's something that I think was pretty remarkable. This really does feel like more of a sketch comedy show rather than a movie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's off the rails.
It feels like it could be like an SNL skit almost, but maybe a little more highbrow or even lowbrow for SNL, maybe.
The
I'm
narrative
not really sure.
structure is kind of unique in that sense. Or, it's unlike the typical narrative structure you'd see in a movie.
Yeah, it doesn't really have an actual structure to it, really. It's almost like things just kind of happen.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's kind of
exactly.
weird. It's a weird structure. There's not much. Yeah, well, there's not much structure to it, but it does have its own storyline, and it's like you said. I agree with you with the whole idea of it being like an SNL skit. That's a good terminology for it.
And I think the biggest reason for that is how character-driven it is.
Right.
And these are two classic characters that they came up with early on in their career. And first off, you just have the typical Chicano element or even stereotypical, I would say, probably
Yeah.
with
Oh, yeah.
Cheech Marin. And
Yeah.
Tommy Chong's character, it's almost like it is his actual personality, but it isn't,
They're probably
Doesn't-
playing caricatures of themselves.
Right, that's exactly what it is. Not only that, but all of the characters in this show are all just they're based on stereotypes that are you hear, like even the nuns and the cops.
Yes.
Everybody is a stereotype. That's what all the characters are.
Hey, man, how far you going, man?
Oh, right here it'd be fine, man.
Oh, man, you ain't not scared of a little speed, are you, man?
Oh, you got some speed, man?
Huh? Oh, speed? No, I don't got no speed, man. Hey, you know what I do got, though, man? I got a joint, man.
It's almost in kind of a
Come on.
a no
Light it up,
consequence
let's get
world,
Chinese eyes,
you know,
man.
like Freddy Got Fingered, where I mean
What
things
kind of
just kind of
joint is
happen.
this, man?
Even
Oh,
the
it's a
cops are
heavy-duty
bumbling
joint, man.
idiots, and they're not
That
even
looks like
stoned.
a toothpick, man.
For most of the
Well,
movie,
Oh, it's
anyway.
not toothpick.
At
Toothpick,
first, yeah, at
man.
first they're not really.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, it's just...
You know, yeah, it's
It's
kind
a
of
toothpick.
just to push forward the story more than anything. Well, what story there is.
Yeah.
So
As far as
I'm guessing that the judge scene where they get out on a technicality because the judge is drinking vodka. Is that what they're trying to relay there?
I think so. They don't really show what happens after that. It just
That's
kind of
kinda
goes
weird.
straight to them.
It's
at Cheech's
implied.
house.
It's
very
implied.
much implied.
I was reading that the car that Chong was driving with the Rolls Royce attached to the front of the Bug, that was actually owned
Yeah.
by Jack Nicholson. That was actually his
Wow.
car. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard of Jack Nicholson having some involvement in this movie, but yeah, that's actually really cool. And yeah, it's a VW Bug with a Rolls Royce grill.
Rolls Royce, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Took that from his dad.
When he
Yeah,
wrecks,
that's right.
when he wrecks and he pulls over too, when he's another thing I was reading too is in that scene where he's flipping around, Cheech is flipping around. Those are a couple of the producers, or one of the associate producers' daughters. So
Really?
yeah, they kind
Oh,
of
Jay.
put her in there. But I was
Oh,
saying those girls
are
were really young. They were like 15.
Yeah,
Jill,
yeah.
babe.
That's the first couple of girls that Cheech talks to.
When
Right.
he's turning
Yeah,
around
they're
to get
considered
Chong
the
when he drives
Jill
that
Big
car
girls.
off the cliff. Yeah.
Yes. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so fucking perfect. I love that.
Man, different times.
But
I love how
Yeah,
their
no kidding.
friendship develops. You know, it starts off as him just giving him a ride, and they just sort of vibe, and then, you know, they go to court together, so they just stick together after that point.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's completely like non sequitur.
yeah, but in a way, they were just kind of made for each other, right?
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, their personalities just perfectly complement each other. You know?
And,
I mean-
and a lot of that chemistry is, you know, the actors themselves, Cheech and Chong. You know.
yeah.
Definitely.
They're definitely
Yeah.
best friends even to this day, you know. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, to this day, they still talk to each other. They still hang out. I mean, they were trying to bring back the Cheech and Chong characters not too long ago, right?
They did.
I
They
heard
toured.
something about.
Recently
they
reunited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could have gone and seen that. I mean, I'm pretty sure they played a lot of their best, their greatest hits,
Yeah,
so to speak.
They
I
still do
guess.
play. They still
You know?
do like modernized versions of their stuff for sure.
Cool.
Oh,
yeah,
That's
they bring
badass.
their old characters
Nice.
back and just modernize them. Yeah.
So I feel like this movie may even have, you know, a somewhat, and I say this lightly, a somewhat autobiographical feel to it, at least as far as the characters go, because, you know, they're in a band, right? And I feel
Right.
like that carried over from their personal lives, and they're best friends. You know what I mean? So I really feel like I said, they were playing caricatures of themselves.
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't know if what kind of parents Chong had, but his parents seemed out there.
Racist,
White.
crazy, wild,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's kind of funny that Chong's character is shown to be affluent, you know? I mean, it kind of explains how he's kind of free to try all of these different kinds of drugs and everything.
Right.
It actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
love
his
how he-
parents are
like-
pretty much financing that lifestyle.
Mhm.
Yeah, he just says "fuck you" to his parents, you know, and he just goes on his way.
I love that he doesn't even give a shit.
No.
He's making that smoothie and
Yeah. And he just flicks him off on the back. What is that? A peace sign? That's what his mom said.
She's like, yeah, is that a half peace sign? What is that?
oh man, that is the best. And I mean, his dad. Oh man, he's so overbearing.
Man,
Son of a
Jesus
bitch.
Christ.
over the top. Yeah, that's definitely part of their character,
like-
though.
But isn't everybody over the top, really? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess besides
Yeah.
even them. I mean, shit.
So
Yeah.
true.
Every single character in this movie is over the top, and that's really important because of how character driven it is.
Mhm.
You know, it's not just Cheech and Chong, it's also, you know, the cops that are pursuing them. It's the two girls that they eventually meet, which we'll talk about here in a little bit.
Yeah, there's no
You know,
straight man.
Every character.
You remember, the bigger the bust, the better the boost.
Exactly.
It's just so stereotypical, you know? It's just funny shit. $9 billion.
And also the members of his band as well. I mean,
Oh,
those
yeah.
are like typical
It's
musician caricatures. Right, Chaz? I know you.
Would you look at those? Those are some fly ass clothes. Woo!
Chaz, I know that you know what I'm talking about. Those are totally musician type things. That,
Yeah, definitely all musician
hear.
tropes for sure. They nail them, dude. I love it. I
Oh,
love
yeah,
how,
definitely.
especially, you know, just the energy, the difference in the on stage versus the off stage. Like the energy he brings to his on stage persona is just so like it's dead on. Like he brings it.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah.
an unleashing of Cheech.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Right, yeah, she's just like tutu and pink suit. Like,
Yeah.
it's just the funniest thing to see that and jumping around on stage.
Yeah, that obnoxious neon guitar and everything.
Yes.
Oh my god.
My mama talking to me, trying to tell me how to live. But I don't listen to her cause my head is like a sieve. My daddy, he disowned me cause I wear my sister's clothes. He caught me in the bathroom with a pair of pantyhose. My basketball coach, he done kicked me off the team. For wearing high heel sneakers and acting like a queen. The world's coming to an end, I don't even care. As long as I can have a limo and my orange hair. And it don't bother me if people think I'm funny. Cause I'm a big rock star and I'm making lots of money. Money, 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 money. I'm so bloody rich. I own apartment buildings and shopping centers. And I only know 3 chords. Watch me burn.
No fucks given. This is punk rock lifestyle, man.
No fucks given.
Yeah.
Seriously, no, none at all. I mean, look how Chong is dressed as well.
Mm-hmm.
But weren't the other members of his band actually trying to get him to kind of wear more traditional garb or something like that?
Yeah, they wanted to
Looking
have
for,
like
like-
a uniform.
Yeah.
Almost like a Motown kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
they gave him one that didn't fit, but
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
yeah,
So he was just like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna dress up like a superhero."
yeah.
And playing those huge, oversized drumsticks. It's like, how the fuck do you even play with those things?
Who
Like
knows?
a dude. This is great.
I know, right?
It's all.
it's like
everything
playing
is
drums
so
with-
on point.
I know. Even his drum kit, man. I mean, it's all clear acrylic. It's like
Yeah.
it's a sweet kit, honestly.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
he just carries it around with him. I love the scene where he's like climbing up the hill and then he goes back down, falls back down the hill and then climbs back up again. And then Cheech comes around the corner and he's like, wait, he comes finally picks him up and gets in the car and is like, hold on, let me go get my stuff. Hurry up, man. Brings it back and says, wait, I got more, hold on. He brings a whole fucking drum set in the car. He's like, God damn, man.
It's a little
How'd you
bit
carry
of,
that with you?
Yeah. It's like foreshadowing, though, because he says, like, what are you doing? Gonna move in, man? Like,
You're going to move in? Yeah, it's exactly that.
Yeah.
It's foreshadowing. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's fantastic the first night that he spends at Cheech's house after they're out of jail. Like, he's straight up, like, sleeping in the hallway, right?
Yeah, and he's like, nah, man, you got a room.
And of course, he's got his family there. He's got a bunch of kids. I mean, I'm not sure if those are Cheech's kids or not.
They probably
And his
are.
old lady.
We never really see his old lady, right?
I wonder if that was all bullshit and he was just like saying that to Chong, just like make him think he was getting some putang. I don't know. It was probably just him
Something
tapping
like
to.
that.
It did kind of have that connotation.
It might just be it might just be his grandma's house, honestly.
Yeah.
For all we know.
God.
Hey, since this is the 420 episode, there's a little bit of 420 history. So the first like bong that I went out and bought on my own was a 6-foot bong, because I was inspired by Cypress Hill, and I went and got it was red clear acrylic, just like that drum kit, 6-footer.
Oh, that's
nice.
sweet.
You had to have somebody else light it while you hit it. And then it would clear a whole gram inside of the bowl, and you'd have to hit that whole gram.
I've hit my fair share of 6-foot bongs before.
Yeah.
Those are monsters, right,
Yeah.
Robert?
Monsters.
When was the last time you've hit one up, Robert?
One of those 6-footers, like a 9-footer, probably back in high school.
Yeah, I was
A 9-footer.
I was 18, so
Back in high school, dude, mostly.
19. So.
Wow, man.
You gotta turn that shit sideways just to hit it.
You can't. You have to have somebody else
Seriously.
hit it, or light it
Yeah,
with your
yeah.
toes with a little
Right, light it with your
barbecue
toes.
lighter.
Like a torch, fucking like huge butane torch.
Yeah, you're right, torch.
I gotta get my shirt back on.
not
It's
a-
kind of cold. I got this window open. That's kind of cold now.
Oh, yeah, it's a little chilly outside.
Dakota
I'm
wins.
Sure, you're.
Is it heavy stuff, man? Will it blow me away?
Put your seatbelt on, man. I'll tell you that much.
Shit, I've been smoking since I was born, man. I could smoke anything, man. You know, like I smoked that Michoacan, man, Acapulco Gold, man. I even smoked that tight stick, you know?
Tight stick?
Yeah, you know, that stuff is tied to a stick, you know?
Oh,
Yeah,
tight
that-
stick.
Yeah, that didn't even do nothing to me, man. I could probably smoke this whole joint, man, and still walk away, man. Wouldn't be no problem at all, man.
Talk it out, man. Kinda grabs you by the boo-boo, don't it?
What's in this shit, man?
Mostly Maui Wowie, man.
Yeah?
But it's got some Labrador in it.
What's Labrador?
It's dog shit.
What?
Yeah, my dog ate my stash, man. I had it on the table and the little motherfucker ate it, man.
Yeah?
So I had to follow him around the little baggie for 3 days before I got it back. Really blew the dog's mind.
You mean we're smoking dog shit, man?
I think it's even better than before, you know?
I wonder what great thing tastes like, man.
Now, let's go through some of the other moments of this movie. Like, for instance, the scene at the border with the nuns. That is so hilarious. I mean, he's smoking that fucking big ass doobie. The dog
Another
shit.
one.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Hey, what's in this, man?
He straight up throws it in the nun's lap, and
Who the hell
like-
throws a roach over the car? On the other
I know the way he throws that roach is just it defies logic.
Yeah, right.
it's only something that Chong could do. Like only Chong would do that.
Yeah.
All right, and then following that sequence, the fucking nuns, and then the nuns get caught at border control, and then the cops feel up the nuns because they've never been touched before, and so they're like, oh,
Yes.
And
Surprise,
a couple of
surprise.
those nuns are former Playboy centerfolds.
Oh, that
so,
makes sense.
That's
Are you
funny.
That's
serious?
funny. I didn't know that.
What?
yeah.
That's fucking cool, man. Damn. Yeah, but that's a favorite of mine. Another favorite scene of mine is when they're actually constructing the Weedmobile.
Oh my
Oh, that's
god.
great. And
Okay,
of course, Chong have no clue the entire movie that they're driving a weed mobile.
Did you see the grill on that thing? It's literally like huge ass buds.
It's chicken wire
was the
with what looked
grill.
like moss.
That's exactly what it looked like.
No. It's like how could anybody not see that?
It's
I
different
mean,
times.
fuck.
Like they were
And what
spraying
about that-
texture
that-
on the car with weed,
Yeah.
like a paint job.
Yeah, and that goes back to that scene where the cops are kind of debriefing themselves about the new forms of weed that are coming over the border. They're saying this shit is like being constructed into TVs and like into
Yes.
upholstery and all kinds of weird shit.
Here's
is
a little bit of
material.
trivia.
It is
What
the
was
TV.
how many dollars do you think this enterprise is worth right now? Going for me, it's left or right. Dakota, what do you think?
I'm thinking 400 million. Is it 200 million?
Way higher. Ashley,
Say about $1 billion.
whoa, you're sit on the bench, son. Robert,
Robert,
$1.5 million.
$1.5 million. Okay. Bo, what do you think?
well, are we talking just street value or just straight up value by weight?
Oh my God, it's a $9 billion enterprise.
Which, by the way, I don't think it could have possibly been. Those cops didn't know what the fuck they were talking about because think about adjusted for inflation.
Yeah.
And $1 billion today is no joke.
$9 billion.
$1 billion back
to make
then
one
was-
TVs.
The bigger the plus, the better the boost.
So I mean, everything they say about marijuana, and it's like these guys that have never smoked weed before that don't know anything. It's just like these like anti-drug advertisements,
Right, yeah.
Yeah, right. And something else notable about the casting with the cops and everything, the main police lieutenant, that's Stacy Keach.
Huh. Who's that?
He was actually the main slasher killer in the horror classic Maniac.
Oh,
Which I mean,
all right.
yeah, that's a really cool movie. I highly recommend that. But Stacy Keach is an all-time great actor. He's been in so many awesome movies, but genre films and even some like bigger films as well.
Okay.
So
The lead lieutenant or the lead cop, whatever, his mustache was like two little razor blades.
oh yeah, it was practically almost a John Waters stash, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like seriously, I mean, I don't know, maybe not as papery thin as Waters, maybe, but yeah, it's a funny cop stash, and of course his underlings are just they're so frustratingly stupid.
Henchmen.
The person
Jesus
they
Christ.
follow him with like all of their fiber and being, but they're just stupid. They're brainless.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying their damnedest to do their job, but I mean, what are you gonna do, man?
Well,
Oh,
shoot
these
the
are
tire.
great. Oh man, donut shop.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, the donut shop in the middle of the desert? There's never a donut shop when you want it. That's ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, seriously.
This movie does, definitely employs the stereotypes.
Yeah.
It feels every single.
It's completely self-aware.
I can't
it's
believe
got an
yeah.
element.
I'm like ripping it up, and you're so right. Like it's not. Yeah.
It knows exactly what it is, and I think that's why the plot is structured the way it is.
Yeah.
Right. Well, especially with,
It's all about showing really, really funny and interesting moments.
yeah.
more or less.
And well, like I was mentioning, they always manage to get away from the cops. Always, except for in the very beginning with the little bit of luck the cops had, but it didn't matter because they got out on a
They got
technicality.
away. They always get
They
away.
always get out of it. These fucking
And both Cheech and Chong, both end up pissing on the police lieutenant's
Yes.
leg at points in the
That's
movie.
right. That's right.
Of course, there's the scene where Chong ends up giving Cheech like a bunch of fucking acid, and he starts tripping balls to the cop, and he's like, "What the hell? How do you even do that?"
And then Chong is swallowing those pills quickly to get rid of the evidence.
He's swallowing like pills on pills, dude. It's the funniest shit.
It's like Cheech's state is probably what Chong is seeing 24/7.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
He's used to it already.
yeah, he is that fucking spaced out, man.
God damn, I was in that shit, man. I never had no dope like that before in my life, man. That's the heaviest shit I ever smoked, man. I mean, I smoked a lot of shit before, man. But goddamn, man, that's heavy shit.
You okay?
I can't breathe.
What's the matter?
I can't breathe, man.
Well, here. Hey, man. Hey, I got something to mellow you out, man. You're just freaking out. Here.
I never smoked no shit like that before.
Take these,
What?
man. Take these. This will
What
mellow
is
you
this?
out, man.
What is that, man?
Let's take them, man. Oh. Hey, don't take those, man.
What?
I almost gave you the wrong shit, man.
Hey, man, I already took them, man.
Whoa.
Hey, what do you mean? Whoa.
Wow, man.
Hey, what was that shit, man?
You just ate the most acid I've ever seen anybody eat in my life.
Hey, man, I never had no acid before, man.
Please, I hope you're not busy for about a month.
Shit, I'm gonna die, man. That stuff's gonna make me die, man.
No, that's good acid.
Hey, man, I never had it before, man. That's
Hey,
gonna make
it
me
won't
die.
hurt
Well,
you,
it's gonna
man.
make me freak out,
Nah,
man.
man.
I seen those guys that walk around my neighborhood have too many acid, man. Their head looks like a
Okay,
pumpkin
hey,
like that, man.
mellow out,
Hey,
relax,
like,
man.
what
Hey, mellow out, man. Now just go, oh.
What?
Do it, man. Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
Mellow.
Oh, man.
Mellow. Mellow. Yeah. You better now, man?
Yeah.
You mellow?
Yeah.
You feel all right, huh?
What are you doing, man?
Sometimes that helps.
Yeah, it's a great.
Anyway.
That is such a great scene too. He just, just forgetting the cops are there, back and forth. Like that's so kind of indicative of that. Of all of that, really. Smoking that much weed, taking that much acid, just like the scatterbrainness, and just even the cops there, though.
I like how fast everyone gets high. Like the second they get a puff of that air, suddenly they're so stoned out of their mind that they instantly have food.
Yeah. Like for instance, that cop that stops them when they're in the weed van and it starts burning on the fender, and that cop just immediately wants Chong's hot dog. Like, you can have the whole thing, man. It's like,
what do you guys want?
What do you guys want? I love it.
I like how
Chong's like, hey man, I can't, I don't have a license, dude. And he's like, well, shit, you should have told me that. Like, here, let me get in. And you hear the debacle, like you hear the audio, like, come on, man, move over. Oh, I'm stuck. And by the time the cop finally walks up there, Chong's sitting on Cheech's lap, just like, what's up? What's going on? God, that's so awkward. That's so good.
I think my favorite parts of the movie are when they pick up the two ladies, the blonde chick and that really far out hippie girl who just will not stop fucking talking. She talks. I swear, the moment that she is introduced in this movie, she is just on. She's talking.
She's talking in the background while other people are talking. Like she's always talking, dude.
Seriously, it's like, are you just talking to yourself and just hoping that somebody just stops by and listens to you? I mean, what the
Jesus. Well, I think that's one of my favorite scenes in the movie is the one where she's just doing the entire moaning and she's just telling a story about someone else having sex the entire time, and then from the outside it looks like her and Chong are having sex, and he walks out and everybody applauds.
Right. Everybody applauds. I love it. All the bands at the Battle of the Bands. They're just like, whoa!
I got a cramp,
You would think it would be bad. You would think it would be like a bad consequence, but everything they do, it has a good consequence in the end. It's weird as hell.
See, there's no consequences.
You're right.
No consequences at all. And why should there be? You're just smoking weed.
Or
Shit.
snorting Ajax. No concept.
Snorting- Oh, that scene is all kinds of weird. That chick that just sucks all that Ajax up.
That was wild.
We
that,
know
that weird face that she starts making. That weird noise was like, what's that noise? Like something like that. It's like
we
this
all
really
know
deep
like that
throat.
from our hometown, right?
Yeah.
That's the way some of the girls out here are.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
Don't say any
No doubt
names, but
about
we
that.
all I have a few of them are coming. All the same names are coming around.
Yeah, I know, man. You're telling me, bro. This place is fucking crazy, ladies and
A
gentlemen.
lot of red
It's
hair.
fucking out there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Red hair. Oh no, you just triggered Dakota probably.
Yep.
Oh no. Red
Triggered hard.
I gotta remember not to do this. I heard it in my last podcast. I was doing this to my beard because I'm just like trying to focus on the chaos.
And you could totally hear it in the microphone.
Yeah, I was like,
right?
is somebody eating chips? What the fuck is happening?
It's like, no, that's my beard.
It's okay. We're introducing an ASMR segment to the podcast and a mukbang.
Oh God.
We're gonna start.
Lord. So you're just gonna sit there and eat like 30 fucking Taco Bell burritos? Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh God.
It would be appropriate for a 420 episode.
Shit, I'm drinking a
I don't
Sonic's Red Plush.
I know that the lazy vegan, she does some mukbang videos every now and again with vegan stuff. So I mean, I don't know. What?
That's not.
Yeah,
Say that again. Say that to my face.
I heard
is
vegan and I
not
tuned
cool.
out.
Why is it always a vegan promotion with you, Bo? Get out of here.
Because that's just how it goes on Collateral Cinema. I say vegan stuff, and you guys rag on me for it.
There is more of us than there is you.
It's the ebb and flow of this podcast, apparently.
I'm cutting it out of mine.
Damn you! Damn you!
I will literally leave in the 30 minutes of intro, and I'll cut just that. You'll be like, wait, where's my vegan promo?
You're just gonna loop the intro. You're just gonna loop the intro over and over again for 30 minutes.
Where's my really feeble attempt at trying to turn people off of meat? Where's it at? I don't know. It was in here. I swore I tried to put it in there.
Oh my God!
Next time telling us he does CrossFit.
I don't know. We'll be getting PETA ads on our fucking on our podcast.
Yeah, or my Instagram now. Yeah, it's gonna start selling me vegan food or something.
It was my doing. I did it. me and Joaquin Phoenix, we both did it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's heavy. Yeah, man. But I bet a lot of cops smoke dope now, you know.
No, I mean, look at that, man. It was like a radio station. And it was, the request lines are now open. KGFJ Soul Radio.
Do it now, man.
Request lines are now.
It's open. Man. Go ahead, say it.
And then I'm gonna take off your dress. And then I'm gonna take off your bra. And then I'm gonna take off your shoes.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello, headquarters. Come in, headquarters. This is Officer Clyde.
Use the code name. The code name.
Headquarters, come in, please. This is code name Hardhead.
Hard hat. Give me that. Hello, radio dispatch. This is codenamed Hard Hat. Codenamed Hard Hat. Do you read me? Over.
Was that lard ass?
Hard Hat. Codenamed Hard Hat. Do you read, radio dispatch?
Hey, got something for you, lard ass.
Hard Hat. Hard Hat. Do you understand?
Lard ass.
Hard Hat. Radio dispatch. Do you know who this is?
No, who is this?
This is Sergeant Stadinko.
Oh, yeah? You know who this is?
No.
Bye-bye, lard ass.
Y'all remember the Vietnam veteran that they went to get weed from in the movie?
Yeah.
Strawberry.
That's motherfucking Tom Skerritt. Man,
Who's that?
Homeboy from Alien.
Oh, I know Tom
He was in the
Skerritt.
Alien movie. Yeah.
That was such a great scene, dude, where he bails on him on that bike.
Oh man, that's so
PTSD
crazy.
Like a little rascal.
Is your dad
effect.
like that, Bo? Is your dad like that, Bo?
My dad?
Yeah, is your dad like strawberry?
I don't know. Not like that. No, he's many other ways, but not that way.
Rip Torn.
Rip Torn all the way.
Rip Torn.
He was Rip Torn
R.I.P.
from Freddy Got Fingered.
Hey, Bo, I gotta
Peace,
say,
exactly.
I was thinking about your dad whenever they mentioned Tie Stick in the movie.
Really?
I've heard that story from your dad more
Yeah,
times.
man, you get tie stick, man.
Tide Stick. What's Tide
Tie
Stick?
stick.
Was Tide
Tide
Stick a
stick.
thing back then?
It was, yeah. I
Yeah,
think so.
Bo's dad was telling me stories about it. I'm not kidding.
We used
Oh,
to
yeah.
get cum
Yeah.
and ketchup off of everything we had.
Oh my god. But yeah, those scenes were fucking hilarious. And once again, no consequences on any of that, you know?
Zero.
I mean, that actually allows who was driving with him? It was
Strawberry was
Cheech
driving.
Marin,
Cheech
right?
was in the
Yeah.
little bucket seat or the little sidecar. Sorry.
What happened after that scene is Cheech was actually able to call Chong and tell him to get the fuck out of the dealer's house.
And he had already
Because
locked himself out.
He locked himself out.
He already locked himself out and everything. And,
The whole
took the
time they're
phone out
raiding
there
it.
with him and-
Funny. And no, he's trying to re-enter the building while they're raiding the building, and he's trying to fucking get in. And while Cheech is on the phone, like, fuck it out, and he goes back in, and then finally Cheech somehow shows up quickly enough.
and
And
he's disguised as a fucking as what is it?
I just said
Repo
Repo.
Man,
Yeah, Repo Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
He fucking come to repossess the table and shit while with the drugs and
With
shit
all the
over
drugs
it.
on it.
Fuck's
He's
it.
like, this table here? Yeah, this table
table
right here. They
now.
didn't make the payments on it. Unfortunately, we got to take it. So.
Yeah.
Also,
And then
this is
finally Chong makes it in the building and Cheech comes in the back and they're like, wait, we need to find a way out of here. And they're like, well, why don't we just leave right behind us? There's a door.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, right, man. The X is right there, man. I mean, shit.
Dude, that movie, the movie really does hold up. That's what's funny. Is as off the rails as it is, and as far as plot goes, no. But the sketches, just in sequence, are just so good. Just one back to back, they're so good.
Every single one of them are just they're funny and they're just like so stereotypical stoner. Everything is just it's so wild. It's a trip.
Yeah, this movie does seem like a series of sketches, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is kind of like.
You know what I mean? That's really what it is, because it's pretty much the same situation every time. They narrowly escape the law.
I know the law is always not far behind them as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're always encountering some type of authority figure, and they just kind of bungle their way out of it. I'm still trying to figure out how the fuck they got away with it at the end of the movie. It's like, we may as well go ahead and talk about the actual Battle of the Bands scene, which I think is like the best part of the movie, really.
Some shit
Like,
bands.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those were some actual bands that they knew, like, from the local area that came in and played that. Like, there's that one band that just stops right in the middle of their song, and then they're just like, this is hard. It's like, Chaz, have you ever seen anything like that?
Never. I was like, what the I mean, I've seen Nickelback get rocks thrown at them, and they didn't stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Seriously, man.
that was weird.
I mean, and then there was that one weird new wave band. I swear they just had a chick there just to dance. Like, she's just up there to dance. You know, like how the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, they have that conductor that I swear he's just up there to skank. Like, that's all he's there to do. They have this one new wave looking chick, and she's just kind of dancing to the music on stage. It's like, I mean, was that a thing in the 80s?
That's a thing now, dude. Well, not now.
It is.
Now we're all in our homes. But
Yeah. Right.
I'm aware of the punk rock lifestyle, about the bands. Like, there's some crazy fucking shit that happens at punk rock bands.
Hey,
like, I don't know if you know anything about like City Morgue or anything, but like that's some crazy band stuff. They like throw the mics at the audience, like hit their head on the mic, bleeding and shit. Like, that's some crazy shit. And so seeing that versus like this is pretty interesting. It's another form of punk rock.
Dakota, let me tell you a little bit about Iggy Pop. or G.G. Allen.
Oh my God, G.G. Allen.
G.G. Allen, yeah, an American hero.
Oh my God.
Straight up, true hero.
I like the Battle of the Bands scene, you know, whenever the weed comes into the vents and the people go from throwing food and items at them to just completely vibing with the music. And it's good.
They're bringing out like trays of hamburgers because everybody's just instantly hungry.
Man.
Yes.
And the cops, they try to get into the Roxy. That's where they're at. They're at the Roxy.
They're ordering pizzas too.
Yeah, they get a whiff of the smoke from the weed van because they busted a fuel line and lit it on fire, and the motherfucker's just burning. It's just straight up. This is just straight up burning, and just there's just plumes of smoke just coming right at the fucking Roxy, and
it's supposedly $9 billion worth of weed, right?
No.
Apparently.
They're talking about the. He's talking about the enterprise in which where they turn weed into plastic. And
the weed, fiber weed. There it is.
But here's my question: if that's a way of smuggling it, how did they turn it back into smokable weed?
That's a good question. That's one of the many things they never really break down in this movie. It's just kind of thrown in there.
With a grain of salt, you have to like not think too much about it and just understand that it's funny and they get away with stupid shit that they shouldn't get away with.
Like here's a good example. Like when they're actually going to Mexico initially to pick up upholstery, they never actually end up picking up the upholstery that they were going to smuggle back in.
Right.
They go to the wrong garage and they pick up the weed mobile.
They
never ask anything about any upholstery, any type of furniture. They just
goes to the
take
bathroom
it and leave.
No, nothing.
Oh yeah, the bathroom. Because he had to fucking eat that shit.
Then he walks by the entire fucking industry, and we see everybody in like masks and shit just creating on these cars, and he just misses it because trying to go piss.
Like I said, that's among my favorite parts of the movie is where they're just constructing that shit, and they're like spraying it with the fiber weed and everything.
And they're driving the car later, this fucking weed mobile, and they're like, "Man, I wish we could score a lid." And we're like, "Dude, you're driving a weed mobile." And they had no fucking clue.
Idea.
Like you could literally probably snap off the end of the fender and fucking roll a blunt.
Oh yeah, with the logic in that movie, absolutely.
Seriously, you could totally do that. Are y'all aware that? I'm sure Chaz is, but Chancellors, are you aware that Korn actually did a cover of that song at the end of one of their albums?
Oh shit, we need to listen to that. That would be awesome.
It was a hidden track. What's up?
Makes total sense, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it makes total sense. I mean, it would be Korn that could take a song like that and just turn it into a slamming nu metal track.
Yeah.
And it's actually it doesn't have Cheech Marin on the vocals though. That's their bassist Fieldy. He's the one that actually does that. So, but I mean, it's really, really a fun song to listen to because honestly, it's coming from an album that I think is just peak Korn, like in every way, like peak Jonathan Davis, peak Ross Robinson, peak Korn, period. You know, and it's a hidden track. It comes on like, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes after the album is complete.
Which one is it? Follow the Leader? That one or Adidas?
Follow the Leader, yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah. Adidas is from Life is Peachy. We're talking Follow the Leader.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I love that album. So I've definitely heard that song. I just didn't know it was them. So I have to go back and listen to it with that perspective.
Yeah, I was jamming it on YouTube actually, and it's like I'm like, wow, this just really held up, honestly. Just that whole album in general.
You get a goddamn job before sundown, or we're shipping you off to military school with a goddamn Finkelstein shit, kid. Son of a bitch.
Anyway, this movie pretty much set the standard for how stoner movies would kind of play out note for note as far as its tropes, its character types, and everything. And it's had quite an impact on weed culture. Wouldn't you guys say?
Oh, definitely. I mean, this is like the pioneering stoner film.
For sure.
So, at least as I mean, there were some before this. I mean, you had Fritz the Cat, but this really was kind of where the whole stoner buddy comedy element came in. So, I mean, I feel like that's been influential on 420 culture, just in general.
Especially the character of Chong himself. I mean, Tommy Chong has really kind of run with it. I mean, he even has, from what I understand, when weed became legal, he has dispensaries and everything, or he grows weed.
Yeah, he does like the
I've seen
Cannabis
his
Cup
Instagram.
every year. He hosts the Cannabis Cup.
Yeah.
He does? Awesome.
Yeah. He
Wow.
judges.
And
He judges.
he's
and
always
has his own strand.
Yeah, I've seen his Instagram before, and on his Instagram, you can see like he's taking pictures of bags of weed just falling out of his cabinets and shit. Like he don't care. This is an old dude with just a bunch of fucking weed.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gangster. I mean, he actually went to jail because he was selling bongs online, and at the time, the Bush administration, he wasn't trapped. Exactly. It wasn't fair, but yeah, he went to jail for a little while.
That's crazy.
I remember that.
And he also did in Half Baked.
Oh, of course. Yeah, he was totally in Half Baked.
Squirrel Master.
He was in a lot of shit. I remember him from That 70s Show. That's what I remember.
Shout out to our last 420 episode.
Exactly, Half Baked. Hell yeah.
And you were with us then, Chaz. Yeah.
Yeah, you almost forgot, huh?
I'm thinking that this right here is pretty much going to be a little bit of a tradition for us from now on.
Yeah.
To have Chaz come on the 420 episode.
You're gonna have to. It'll be forever. You'll be lonely as hell, man.
I know, right?
Check this out. This is a recent picture from his Instagram, posted on April 3rd, and he's smoking a CBD vape. But
ooh, nice.
Oh, the ones he sells, right?
Oh shit.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
But
hell yeah, man.
He's
That's
still
cool.
very active. He's got.
I know Tommy Chong's pretty active. He does a lot of stuff still. Like I've seen so much of his Instagram. It's wild.
He's in his 80s. And he's got.
Is he really?
2.6 million followers.
Wow.
That's crazy, dude. That is crazy.
What's Cheech up to these days? Has anybody checked up on him?
Right, dude. He's still active as well.
I don't know if Cheech really leaned into the whole stoner thing as hard as Tommy Chong did, but
He's only got 596,000 followers.
Well, he's obviously not selling weed then. Otherwise, he would have that 2 million probably.
Here he is. He says, "Staying safe." How about you?
Hell yeah.
There we go.
Man,
Okay.
Look at him with that mask. Hell yeah. It's good that he's staying safe and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Chaz, what are your thoughts on how Up in Smoke has influenced weed culture throughout the last 40 years?
Oh man,
or so?
okay, so in huge ways, I think that they took a huge risk that really just kicked double doors open for people like Chappelle and Redman, Method Man, you name it.
Right.
The list goes on and on. Really, I think they literally took a lot of took all the heat you could possibly take for something to open those kind of doors, to put drugs like that in the mainstream, not just weed, just drugs in general in the mainstream, and make it look fun, entertaining, and not even have a plot, just have a series of sketches that happen to make up an hour and 15, an hour and 20. And you know what's funny, man, is growing up in a conservative household, my dad would never watch anything like this with us unless it was these guys. And so we saw Nice Dreams, we saw this one, Still Smoking, and it was like, my dad didn't openly smoke pot. If he did, I never, ever saw him do it. But we would watch these comedies, and he would laugh like he knew what was going on, and I had no idea, but I would laugh because he was laughing, And now I'm watching it, and I'm like, my dad knew what was up, dude. He lived through it, He did live through
without
that
a
stuff,
doubt.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is the example of the stoner buddy comedy. I mean, looking back on some of the movies that we've done on our 420 episodes, I mean, even going back to like Pineapple Express, I mean, that movie wouldn't have been possible without Cheech and Chong.
Oh, yeah.
Kumar.
I mean,
Harold and Kumar.
Harold and Kumar.
Yeah.
1 and
What
2.
about
Yeah,
the
that's
Workaholic show?
Yeah, you could argue that the Workaholics, the TV show,
Even
like that.
Trailer Park Boys. Right?
Yeah, Trailer Park Boys.
Trailer
Those
Park Boys.
kind of come from the lineage of Cheech and Chong a little bit, right?
Broad City.
I mean,
Buddy, Stoner, camaraderie.
What is it, Chaz?
I said Broad City.
Broad City. Oh shit.
Stoner chicks, dude.
Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. Chancellor Brothers. I mean, what do y'all think about Up and Smoke's impact on marijuana culture?
I mean, I already kind of set my bet on that.
Yeah, no, I mean honestly, I have every reason to believe that it is like Ash said, a pioneer for what we have now, and as it fits a lot of stereotypes in the movie. A lot of the stereotypes are pretty true. You know, a lot of them are pretty funny, and yeah, I mean, I have no reason to believe I have no reason to believe that this wouldn't be, you know, a foundation, a pioneer for new wave smoking today.
Yeah, exactly.
It is just so crazy to look back on that, especially now when there's so many states where it's now legalized. And everything. And during the lockdown over the pandemic, I mean, weed smoking has gone up exponentially. Like,
of course.
People are toking up hardcore in quarantine right now.
Yeah, we're no exception. I mean,
shit.
I mean, we've been able to smoke a lot of weed.
Hey.
We've even, you know, dabbled in some other things.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like 420 is more than just about weed. It is about, you know, kind of free thought and
also camaraderie in a way.
Yeah. So, you know, I think other recreational drugs can kind of play into that, but primarily weed.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think it's funny because it's at one time it was demonized, you know, and our kids will forget that, especially something like you're talking about with Reefer Madness, you know. It's just something from that time where it used all the tropes. It tried so hard, and it was just so far off that it just was like a sideshow act rather than what it was meant to be, which was preachy, you know.
Yeah. I mean, Reefer Madness just looks ancient in comparison to how people approach marijuana today. Mm-hmm. And even so, I mean, there's still a lot of negative things that are attributed to how our culture looks at marijuana. And I mean, there's still lots of places where laws are on the books where people are serving lots of time for selling weed or even possessing it. And it's ridiculous.
Fuck the war on drugs.
Fuck that shit.
I think it's turning, though. I think full-on legalization is maybe, I don't know, maybe another 4 or 5 years away, maybe.
At least decriminalization.
At least.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Who do you think you are?
Who do I think I am? Jesus Christ.
Nah, man, if we get another 4 years of Trump, we'll definitely see legalization, I feel like.
Yeah, people are going to have to be fucking stoned to get through that shit. So they're going to be
right, exactly.
Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into our final thoughts and ratings for the movie. We'll go ahead and start with Robert. What do you think, man?
I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5? Yeah. All right, yeah. Like, what did you like about the movie?
You know, it wasn't just the first one. I mean, it's all of them. You know, especially like the Nice Dreams.
Nice Dreams is actually really cool. Like, I like that one.
The opening where they're growing a bunch of weed underneath this fake canvas of a swimming pool, right?
Yeah.
And then they're selling buds out of the ice cream truck, dude. It's freaking hilarious.
That's another fucking classic, honestly. Mm-hmm. I like that one.
And they end up meeting Pee Wee Herman and getting all coked up with him.
Yeah, it's too bad that Paul Reubens wasn't in this movie because he would later become a fixture in Cheech and Chong movies after this. Right before Pee Wee's Playhouse came out and everything. And Pee Wee's Big Adventure and all that.
Well, this movie is somewhat removed in that Cheech and Chong are playing different characters. I believe there was originally going to be a sequel to Up in Smoke, and it just ended up being Cheech and Chong's next movie in which they just actually play themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But in
Chaz,
this
what
movie,
are-
they play different characters, by different
of
names.
course. Of course. Chaz, what are your final thoughts, and what rating would you give this movie?
I give it 4 out of 5 doobies. Because
Nice.
it definitely, as far as like what the joy that it brings, I was laughing out loud, and that's a lot of that old comedy doesn't stick a lot of times, And,
Yeah.
I feel like they just nailed it. They really did. It was over the top enough, and like you said, self-aware, that it didn't matter how cheesy it was or how many plot holes there were. It just felt like their whole intention was to make you laugh the entire time. It never felt like that it had any bad intention. It was great. I love it. I really enjoyed rewatching it. So I just went ahead and bought it for $5 on Amazon.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna show
Chancellor
my
Brothers.
kids.
Yeah, you totally should, bro. Like, you totally should. Chancellor Brothers, final thoughts and ratings. What are you?
Well, I found this movie to be, like Chaz said, it's a lot of fun. I was literally laughing out loud. And while that's not that hard for me in the first place, this movie really brought that out, because that stoner comedy is just something that I relate to a lot, and it's real funny. And so I enjoyed the lack of consequence. That was great. It was a fantastic element to bring in. And of course, I've never actually seen this movie until now, but I've seen like every single clip pretty much of this movie, like scattered throughout YouTube and my friends' houses and stuff.
Everybody's always got this movie playing in the background.
Everyone's got it playing in the background. So it's like I've seen parts of it here and there, and I've seen YouTube clips. I've seen the scene where they smoke the dog shit. Like, I saw that before this, so I remember that. And so this movie is hard to miss if you haven't seen it already.
It's definitely, I think, ingrained in the stoner culture. Are we doing ratings again? I'm confused.
Yeah, I figured, fuck it, let's give ratings. Why not? Who
I gave
cares?
it doobies, dude. I mean, how seriously are we taking these ratings?
Ultimately, it's like, whose line is it anyway? The ratings are like the points; they don't matter.
These ratings are kind of like the doobie that we're talking about here. There's a little bit of dog shit.
Yeah, exactly.
In it,
as far as Up in Smoke goes, I definitely do think that it's, like I said, ingrained in stoner culture at this point, not only in the film, but just in cannabis culture overall. I feel like we wouldn't have the same kind of culture we have today if we didn't have the stoner film genre. And there was something else I wanted to say, and I forgot because I'm high as fuck. But
well, there you fucking have it.
What were you even talking about?
Probably the best. Damn, Chaz, you really baked then.
Oh, nah, bro. Nah. I'm normal, dude. I'm normal right now.
Yeah, I'm totally normal, man.
I'm gonna go to bed anyway. I don't know about you guys, but I got work in the morning.
Oh, I'm gonna be up all goddamn night. Shit.
You've got to edit this shit, and I'm recording a Collateral Gaming episode tomorrow.
Nice.
So we'll talk more about that in a second, but I guess I'll stick with what seems to be the all-around rating, 4 out of 5. I don't know, unless you guys differ, Dakota Bell.
No, 4 out of 5. I agree. I think that's a great.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just give it the 5 out of 5. Fuck it. I love this movie that much.
Almost there too.
I actually remember watching this movie way before I ever even started smoking weed in any capacity. I mean, I knew all about it, but even coming from that sober outside perspective, I could see how weed could be kind of fun, how it wasn't all skeevy and everything,
Yeah.
And it actually kind of led to me eventually trying it, probably, I'm not going to say Cheech and Chong are the reason that I smoke weed, but it definitely put me in the right direction.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 5 out of 5 for me. Great movie. And it's actually one of the 1001 movies you need to see before you die, that book series. It's featured in that.
Wow, that's heavy.
All right, let's go ahead and do our plugs and wrap this thing up. We'll go ahead and start with Chaz. Plug your shit, man.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this in Collateral Cinema feed, go check out my show. It's an interview show. I interview people from all over the place, mostly musicians, but I've started to branch out and do podcast host and some writers. And on my most recent episode, I talked to Jack Luna, who's a Canadian true crime writer. He hosts Dark Topic. That he just laid to rest Crime Machine, but it's all still in the Dark Topic feed. You can check out basically all of his work. And Christy G, a friend of ours, Bo, from here in Bandera.
Yeah.
Who also has an interview show. So basically what my podcast has become is a platform for just art. So that's what it is. It's not really a review show. It's not really... there's no really purpose other than like, hey, if you want to just hear about something that's happening that's really cool, here, check this out. So I don't know what it is anymore. It's a variety show. I guess it became what it's supposed to be.
Man.
Yeah.
Right on, man.
And it's called the Trial by Error Variety Show, and you can find it anywhere you listen to podcasts. And if you're listening to through my feed, Bo actually was on the first 10 episodes, maybe 11 or 12,
something like that.
So
that.
If you're a new listener to TBE, go back and you'll hear Bo. He's my roots dude. He's my sound guy for the live shows, so we have history, and these little 420 episodes are kind of homages to all that history, I guess, in a weird way.
It is. Yeah, 100%, man.
Hell yeah.
Well, look, I don't know why
Chaz...
Chaz... Yeah, I don't know why Chaz got to start. You know, Collateral Gaming is more important, clearly, than Bizer.
Because he's the
podcast.
Guest, man. We got to get the guest.
No, I'm just playing.
All right,
Collateral Gaming. Yes, Collateral Gaming. We just are about to record our new Mario Kart episode. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be our 420 episode, which we're about to record tomorrow.
We're recording tomorrow.
Which one? Which Mario
Mario Kart 8.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Officially, but we'll probably talk about the series as a whole, kind of like in Collateral Cinema, how the Leprechaun Returns episode was about Leprechaun as a whole. And so, because when it comes to Mario Kart, I mean, how much is there to say? But we'll get into that. We'll actually have a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
We've been playing a lot during this quarantine.
I've been whooping the shit out of Ash. Yeah.
Now, we just released our episode out on God of War, so if you haven't checked that out, check it out.
Yes, check that out. Really good episode. We had Megan and Alan on that episode, who are now full-time co-hosts, if y'all weren't aware.
Yeah, they're here to stay. Megan and Alan are becoming a part of the Collateral Gaming team. If you're not already listening to Collateral Gaming, Collateral Cinema listener, Trial by Error Variety Show listener, go check us out. I mean, definitely our Collateral Cinema fans will be able to have, kind of half of the experience of Collateral Cinema, with an additional other half. And, we focus on video games. We run it analog to this show. You can find us wherever you listen to Collateral Cinema, and we're on all social medias, so...
Right on. And you can find Collateral Cinema on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can find us on Spotify, Chill Lover Radio, Apple Podcast, and wherever else you happen to get your podcasts. And also look for a new Collateral Cinema Director's Cut coming up very soon. We'll have a new top 5 list ready for you and another movie review. So keep an eye out for that. And also look for us on Patreon and on Podbean Patreon. And we're going to go ahead with that, wrap everything up.
Well, it's been a fun season.
So it sure has, man. And we're glad to have you on the show, Chaz. We'll definitely have you back sometime soon.
Always fun. Well, thanks for having me on, you guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, right on, man. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wind this thing down. I'm Bo Maddox.
I'm Robert Oregon.
I'm Ashley Chancellor.
I'm Dakota Chancellor.
I'm Chaz O'Dazzle.
And this was Collateral Cinema. Happy 420, everybody. Wash your hands, stay inside, and stay safe.
And smoke some weed.
Or CBD. Don't let them shame you for your CBD flower.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't let them shame you.
Laters, everybody.
Well, what can I say that wasn't already said? That's right. I'm not going to repeat anything in that last little outro. I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in on such an important holiday. I know a lot of you guys are with family, and it's really hard to just sneak away and burn that stinky, stinky herb. Just tell them what I tell them. CBD, okay? It's legal. It just smells like the real stuff, because that's how good science is. It even has a name like the real stuff. And I'm not lying, because it's true. I've seen it. I mean, I bought it. And that's what I have. CBD. Science. Once again, this is the first crosscast we've ever done, so go check out Bo's version of this episode. Bo and Robert, their version. They've worked very hard on their own version of this, and I guarantee you there's gonna be some more jokes that did not land that I cut out of mine. Duh, I cut them out of here. I'm trying to make this entertaining. Bo probably leaves it in there to spite me. I don't know what his reasons are, but he's sneaky. He'll leave them in there and be like, "What? I thought it was funny." But he knows it's not funny.
Attention all units, this is Sergeant Stoney. We are changing from a Code 3 direct pursuit to a Code 347. Completely lost due to incompetence.
And before I send you off completely, I'm gonna play one little ditty here from Korn. That's right, Korn. This would be the third time that we've had them on the podcast. I have no idea how they keep showing up. They're like the 10% ethanol of this podcast. No pun intended. That was a really good pun. If you remember anything from this podcast, you will remember that Korn pun. I have no doubt. And if you have any other way to do, to celebrate 420, to partake, like edibles, that's probably healthier during this COVID virus. This is an old school celebration that we had. Like the Jewish people break the glass at the wedding. That's kind of what this was. Kind of maybe the last 420 we ever get to celebrate. Whew. Celebrate it with family. Take care of yourselves, my friends. Take care of each other. And as always, follow the goal.